got laid off from Amazon 2 weeks ago today. I received an email at like 5:48 a.m. in the morning saying, unfortunately, your role has been eliminated. And it was honestly just like the biggest shock and biggest wake-up call for myself. I woke up that morning and I just treated it like another day. And when I logged into my laptop, I was completely locked out. I was like, maybe I'm just like putting in the password wrong. I have no idea what's going on. And that's when I decided to like check my cell phone. There was a text that I got that said like, before you go into work, please check your personal email for recent updates to your job. And I was like, no fucking way. After 5.5 years, I got a text and I got an email. But there were people that had been there for 20 years, 13 years, 11 years that got the exact same email that I did. To figure out this way is so dehumanizing, and honestly, I'm just like so angry. I found out I got laid off at 9 a.m. and I didn't hear anything from my manager until like 12:30 p.m. because that's when he supposedly learned. Through this, I was honestly just like so disappointed in myself for knowing better than to give my full self to this job. These companies just like really see you as a number and they really don't care about you, and that's okay. At the end of the day, I learned that this is just business and that I was a fool for putting more of myself into this company than truthfully I should have.
No, I don't think that you are a fool for putting more into the company than you should have. You are trading your time for services or for compensation, and you are working and doing your job, and you continue to try to move up in the corporate ladder. It's just that you just so happen to be working for the wrong company at the wrong time. And, when they downsized, they looked at it as just business. And so she is right about one thing. You need to be looking at it as just business. And you got to stop putting all of your stock into it. When you leave work, you focus 100% on home. Also, I think that people need to be focused on their businesses and learn to diversify. I know that we come from an era where a lot of people are used to working at the same company for a long time or looking to retire or trying to get a pension or something like that. If you're not in the military or something, you can forget that. I think that the economy is moving towards a space that we kind of got to innovate from yesteryear. And we've gotten comfortable with working for somebody else and thinking that the company is supposed to look at us or take care of us in the same way that they did our fathers and our great grandfathers and stuff like that. But that's not the way that it is anymore. I think that the economy and the way that things are really going to go is that if you got a certain skill set, you can still get a job. I think that regular jobs are still going to be available. But the people that really win are the ones that's going to become less dependent on jobs and companies and create for themselves. And that's the environment that we're going towards. But I think a lot of times, justifiably, people take it personally and they don't look at it as just business, even though they're coming to this conclusion that Amazon just doing this is just business. I don't think that they look at it that way. I think that they bitter, they feel some type of way about it. And again, when you affect somebody's ability to earn, that tends to happen, but you can't take it personal. And even when it comes to you leaving companies, they can't take that personal either. They just got to eat it. You just got caught before they did.
Given so much of like my emotional and mental self to this job for them to just like say, okay, we need to do budget cuts. Employee 123 looks like they're costing this much. Let's cut them. The only way that I'm ever going to be safe is working for myself and doing something for myself. And honestly, I learned this a few years ago. The first time leaving tech, I realized that they brainwash you in tech to making you think that this is the only way to survive and that you will be lost without them. After I left tech and then came back, I realized that like this is just a system that I'm buying into, but it's hard to not be in that system. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm using this to just like start my own shit. I'm an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur, and I just feel like I haven't been taking myself seriously. But these companies aren't gonna take me more seriously than myself, and they're not gonna make me rich. They're not gonna make me rich, they're not gonna make me secure. Doesn't matter how long you've been there, there's no such thing as company loyalty. They are not loyal back to you.
So this month marks a full year since I have been let go from my job. I gave my employer 8 years. 8 years. I worked from the bottom to the top. And I was the only black person on my team. So as soon as I heard about the layoffs, I already knew they was going to let me go because I was one of those people that did not let them talk to me any kind of way. So you know how
you got a bad attitude.
And when the opportunity arose,
you had a bad attitude.
They didn't take any time to let me know, hey, we're letting you go.
Yeah, he wasn't
yeah, but This just goes to show everyone that it does not matter how long you work at a company, you are replaceable. They are
Oh, now you want to run in the Victim Olympics.
not afraid to let you know that, you have your job now, but you could be gone by tomorrow. But yeah, it's been hard. I've applied to almost over 200 jobs, and I have not heard anything from anybody. Especially when these corporations are pushing to not have DEI at their corporations.
A lot of these people really need to check themselves at the door. They really need to get themselves together because your attitude is horrible. And for you to even admit that you gave people a hard time and you let them know and you let them get a piece of your mind and all of that extra stuff, don't nobody want to deal with that no more. Don't nobody want to deal with that. And you also putting this on social media is not making it any better for you. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you want to talk about DEI. What about your attitude? Yes, I'm glad that we're hiring people based off of merit and not hiring people based off of their identity, because identity politics was trash in the first place, and it has no purpose. It has no point being in corporate America. It has no point being in private services. None of that. So, it's an attitude problem, and a lot of these people have attitude problems that they don't want to look at and address in detail.
So if you are a black person, please do not complain about, your job. If your manager is raising hell, suck it up and, just take notes and build your case.
Build
Because
your
it is
case.
definitely hard out here. We now have to
Build your
know
case.
somebody to get our feet in the door. It now no longer matters how much experience we have, because they no longer want us in their same
Who's they?
spaces. Yeah, like I was saying, they no longer want us
Yeah,
in
he a
those same
Victim
spaces as
Olympics.
them. They want us to take the
Couldn't honor
Hispanic
him.
jobs, working out in the fields and working in the warehouses. That's why they're
Working
trying
in
to
the
get rid of all of the
fields.
Hispanics. That's what that all boils down to. But black people are not taking that. We have come a long way to be
Well, listen, sir. Why don't you just go ahead and stay unemployed or build your own company, but you don't go in and tell nobody else what to do on their own time and on their own company? That's why you've been unemployed for the last 8 months.
working in some damn fields and fucking warehouses. I'm not knocking warehouse jobs. I've been
That's
there,
you.
done that, but it's
Yeah.
not for me. But if I happen to have to go back to a warehouse, I don't mind. But with the experience that I have, I want to stay in the same career path that I'm in right now. But since my time away, I have been, I've been doing what needs to be done to stay afloat. God gonna make a way like he always does.
Unfortunately, the longer I'm unemployed, the less I want a job, because I do not want to work for someone. I am doing things. I'm planning drives, I'm planning events, I'm doing event coordination, like just as a fun little side thing right now. But I do have another job interview today, and I am excited for this one because this one has to do with getting rural kids into college and making sure they get high quality education, right up my alley.
Is
But
that a
I'm a little
job?
less excited about this one because
Getting rural kids into college, is that really a job? People get paid for that?
the first one, I definitely thought I got it, and I didn't. That one was with Harvard, by the way. I guess I'll say it. The second one, I kind of knew I didn't get it, but I really, really wanted it because it was like this organization that specifically works with black leaders in education. Thought that would have been really cool. So now for this one, I'm excited, but I'm maintaining my expectations because this is really exposure therapy. And in 2 hours, I might be crying. So I'm trying to let myself get excited, but also just like be realistic that my purpose is not in the job, and I know that now. Wish me luck though, because
People are crazy, bro. They are really, really crazy. I didn't even know that they offered jobs where people are getting paid a salary to do something like this. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. This is so weird.